Alright guys, we finally got here. This is work part 4. This is a very short lesson, so it shouldn't take long. Let's get right into it. First one, CV. CV means curriculum vitae. Curriculum vitae. Now a CV is a short written description about your education, your work experience, your qualifications, and your skills. And you normally give this to an employer or to a company when you are trying to find a job. So for example, this here is a CV. It's got a picture of the person, and if we could read it, it will probably have her education, her work experience, and other relevant things. Now, CV and resume are the same. They have the same meaning, guys. They're talking about this thing here that you give to employers when you're looking for a job. Now, when you use the word CV, don't say curriculum vitae. This is too long, and most native speakers never say this. They just say CV. So if you say CV, everyone who speaks English will understand you. An example could be, you should print many copies of your resume and give it to many different companies. Let's move over here and talk about to pull a sickie. If you pull a sickie, guys, that means you tell your boss you are sick when you're not sick because you want to have a day off. An example could be, I want to watch the soccer tomorrow, so I'm going to pull a sickie. That means you call your boss, you tell your boss you're sick, but you're not actually sick. You only do it because you want to have a day off, to pull a sickie. Next one, to climb the corporate ladder. Corporate is about business and companies. So to climb the corporate ladder means to continually get a better and better and better position at a company, to continually get more money, to continually advance in a company. An example could be, he wants to get a law degree, get a job as a lawyer, climb the corporate ladder, and become a CEO. So he wants to continually advance in his company so he can become the CEO, so he can get to the top. Next one, to be stuck behind a desk. Guys, if you're stuck behind a desk, that means you work at a desk, you have to sit down at a desk for most of the day, and normally it's something that you won't be happy about because stuck is normally a negative word. An example could be, don't apply for that position because you will be stuck behind a desk all day. That means you'll be sitting down all day at a desk and you probably won't be happy with it. You probably won't enjoy it. Next one, to go on strike. Guys, if you go on strike, you stop working because you're having a problem with your employer, with your boss, with your company about working conditions. So an example could be, the whole department has decided to go on strike because of the lack of holidays. That means the whole department has stopped working because they're not happy about the fact that they are not getting enough holidays. Now, a lot of the time when people go on strike, they will walk around on the street, they will be angry, they will be screaming, they will be yelling, and they'll have signs and they'll have messages written on those signs to go on strike. Next one, to work remotely. If you work remotely, that means you work from your laptop or from your computer and you don't have to go into the office. So you can work from home, you can work from a cafe, you can work from the beach. It's up to you. The main point is you don't have to go into your company's office. An example could be, the company allows its staff to work remotely 3 days of the week. That means for 3 days of the week, the staff don't have to go to the office. They can work from anywhere. It doesn't matter where they work. What's important is that they do the work. Next one, to land a job, to get a job. Guys, if you land a job, you find employment. You start working. An example could be, with her experience, it was not difficult at all for her to land a job. That means it was not difficult. It means it was easy for her to find employment and start working. This is a great phrase to use, guys, to land a job. Next one, to put knowledge into practice. If you put knowledge into practice, it means you use what you know in the real world. You use what you know in real life. An example could be, if a medical student is working in a hospital, we could say it's time to put your knowledge into practice. So you've got a lot of information in your head about medicine, and it's time that you use that knowledge in the real world. It's time you actually use that experience, that information. Next one, to acquire or gain experience. Guys, to acquire or gain experience just means to get experience. So if you acquire experience, if you gain experience, that normally means you are getting real life experience. So it doesn't mean learning from a textbook. It doesn't mean getting information like that. It means actually seeing, actually doing. So if you're a medical student and you're in a hospital, you are definitely gaining experience because you're watching other doctors, you're talking to other doctors, you're seeing how things work and how things don't work. An example could be, over her 2 months in the hospital, she gained a ton of experience. And a lot of the time, guys, experience is way better and way more important than information learned from a textbook. Next one, high levels of unemployment. Guys, if there are high levels of unemployment, that means a lot of people can't find work. And normally it means those people want to find work. So an example could be, right now the economy is facing a lot of problems and there are high levels of unemployment. That means there are a lot of people who are in the situation of not having a job and they can't find work. Alright guys, that's the end of work. I hope you enjoyed that one. I know that was a ton of vocabulary, so make sure you download the Word document, revise the vocab, use the vocab, and do the quiz.